What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Football Overseas YouTube channel. My name is Omar. I'm so excited. This is my first video here in the Football Overseas YouTube channel, and I am going to be the guy who's going to be doing the Serie A predictions, basically everything you need to know about Serie A. I will be the one doing it every single week. I'm very excited, guys. So if you guys like that, like the video, subscribe, and let's get started because this week we are on March week 3 in the Serie A. There's a lot of great games that are coming up this weekend, guys. A lot of games you need to look out for. A lot of potential slip-ups. A lot of teams who haven't started well. Some teams that need to step up. We're definitely going to talk about every single game. And listen, guys, please in your comments and tell me what your prediction is in some of these games, guys. So without further ado, let's go to the first game. Now, the first game that is going to start, which will be tomorrow, the first kickoff of the Friday games, is going to be Venezia against Torino. Now, these two teams, they've started, if Venezia lost their opening game against Lazio and then got a very good draw away to Fiorentina. That was actually a very, very good draw for them. I was actually very, very impressed with them because I genuinely thought they were going to lose. But that was a good point, and they are at home today. But they're playing a Torino team that is coming off a good vibe right now. They drew their opening game against Milan, which is not to be slept on. And most importantly, they beat Atalanta, the Europa League winners, at home. So definitely they're going to be the team to look out for. And based on form, I think that Venezia did well in the last game against Fiorentina. But then again, it is Fiorentina. And Fiorentina, they were not too impressive in that game. So I'm going to say, as far as predictions is concerned, I'm going to go 2-1 Torino. I think Torino will continue their a good start to the season. They got a good draw against Milan. They got a good win against Atalanta. And I think they're going to continue with that this week. And speaking of games tomorrow, there's a big game. This is actually a very, very big game and a game I'm looking forward to, which is Inter Milan versus Atalanta. Whew, this is going to be an amazing game. Now, listen, guys. Atalanta have always been one of those teams in Serie A I've always liked watching. I really am entertained every time I watch them play. And obviously, we know Inter Milan. And they started well. 4 points in their first 2 games. Not bad at all. But we'll see what happens. They're playing at home, obviously. And against Atalanta, like I said, it's going to be a very, very tough game because Atalanta, I know they lost their last game. I was just talking about it. They lost their last game against Torino away, but then again, you can never underestimate Atalanta. However, I have to be very honest when it comes to this game. I just think that Inter Milan have way too much quality, and I think their quality is going to show. I'm going to go for 2-0 Inter Milan. Now, to the Saturday games on August 31st, 2024, we've got the first game, which is Bologna against Empoli. Now, Bologna had an amazing season last season, getting into Champions League. Congratulations to them. They haven't really started the season well at all. They drew their opening game and they got destroyed by a Napoli team that were destroyed the week before. And they're playing an Empoli team that is in a high right now. They got a good draw in the opening game and they won away to Roma, which is an amazing performance for them. But can Bologna basically get back? I highly doubt it. They haven't started well. I have not been impressed with them so far. So I am probably going to go in this game. I'm going to say Empoli are going to continue their good start to the season. And I'm going to actually say 1-1 in that game. And next up, at the same time as the Bologna game against Empoli, we have Lecce against Cagliari. Now, I'm going to be very honest. These two teams have been dreadful to watch. Neither team has won a game. The team that is at home, which is Lecce, have lost both of their games. And they lost their last game very badly. And they're playing against a Cagliari side I mean, losing the opening game 4-0 at home and then losing to Inter Milan, respectfully 2-0, but against Inter Milan, but still 6 goals conceded in 2 games, not a good start. And they're playing against a Cagliari side who, to be fair, have drawn both of their games so far. They have not yet, they're yet to lose. So from that, I'm gonna go out on a limb because of how poor these two teams are. I'm going to go 1-1 draw. I think that Lecce are going to try to basically bring something to the team this week. So I think that they will try and then they will try and get a draw against Cagliari, definitely. Now, this one I have been looking forward to talking about. Lazio against AC Milan. Now, both of these teams still have a lot of gears that they need to reach. Lazio started their season with a win, but they lost their last game against Udinese. It was a very disappointing loss. Maybe not as bad as I thought they did. Some people think that they played worse than I thought, but personally, I think that they were not too bad. But it was a respectful defeat. And they're playing against an AC Milan team who are absolutely dreadful right now. They drew their opening game at home and they lost to Parma. Like, AC Milan right now are a mess. I don't know what is going on right now. Fonseca really needs to deal with that and make sure that he gets things done, because I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say Lazio are gonna win, and they're not just gonna win. I am predicting they're gonna win comfortably. I'm gonna go 3-0 Lazio. Now, next up, we have, at the same time, we have Napoli against Parma. Napoli today completed the sign of Romelu Lukaku. I don't think he's definitely not going to play tomorrow. But there's a lot of issues, obviously, with transfers. We're not going to talk much about that. Will Victor Osimhen play tomorrow? We'll see. But they're playing against a Parma team who are on a high. They just beat AC Milan coming to this game. So how are they going to do against Napoli? Now they're going away to Napoli, and Napoli actually got a very, very commendable victory because they were destroyed in their opening game 3-0, but they got their win back 3-0 in their last game. So how will they do against Parma? I'm going to go for a win. I'm going to say they're going to continue this ride, and they're actually going to win 3-1 against Parma. Napoli 3, Parma 1. And now, here we go. On Sunday, September 1st, the first day of September, we have game week 3, third day. We have Fiorentina against Monza. Both of these teams are shit. I'm just going to go for it right now. Both of these teams are shit. I'll be honest, I'm not watching this game. I'm not going to lie. Fiorentina have been poor. They haven't lost yet, but they haven't won either. They've drawn both of their games. Got a very disappointing draw against Venezia, their last game. Hopefully they can get back into winning ways against Monza, which is they are favorites. And Monza did lose their last game at home against Genoa, so they're not coming exactly in the best of form. But can Fiorentina capitalize? That is the big $1 million question. Can they capitalize on this? I say they can, and I'm going to predict that they're going to win. They're going to get their first win of the season, 1-0 to Fiorentina. And next up, the next game after this, we have Genoa. Speaking of, Genoa are playing against Hellas Verona. Now, Genoa have actually, people have been sleeping on Genoa. They've actually had a good start of the season. They got a good draw. They got a good draw on their opening game against the defending champions, 2-2. And then they went on to win away against Monza. Like I said, they won away against Monza, playing against the Hellas Verona side, who did get a very, very huge statement opening day win against Napoli, but then they didn't capitalize on it against Juventus, which they did lose 3-0. So what can we see in this game? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to say Genoa are going to continue their good start to the season, and they're going to win their first first home win this season when they beat Hellas Verona 2-1. And the big hitters don't stop, because on Sunday we have Juventus against Roma. Juventus are hosting Roma on the third game of the season, and oh man, Juventus are not playing this season. Thiago Motta's team so far, 2 wins out of 2. Can they make it 3 wins out of 3? We'll see. They're playing against a Roma team that are definitely not in good form. Far from it. I mean, losing your first home game of the season against Empoli, with all due respect, you lost to Empoli in your first game and you drew your opening game against, drawing your first game against Cagliari. Like, very, very poor. Absolutely poor. And they're playing against a Juventus team that is in the form of their lives. So what is going to happen in this game? I'm going to say Juventus are going to win. I'm going to say Juventus are going to win it 3-1. And then the final game of game week 3, we have Udinese against Como. Now, Udinese have started the season very, very, very well. They got a draw in their opening game, and then they beat Lazio on their second game, the first home game of the season, and they got the win. And they're playing against a Como team that did lose their opening game against Juventus. That was expected, but they didn't. They then went on to get a good draw against Cagliari away. And Cesc Fabregas' team is coming back this week. They're playing away to Udinese, and obviously there's a lot of hype coming as far as Como is concerned. There's a lot of hype. What can they do? I personally believe in this game against Udinese, because Udinese were very impressive against Lazio. So I am going to go for it. I'm going to say Udinese are going to continue their good start of the season. And unfortunately for Cesc Fabregas, Como are going to lose. It's going to end Udinese 1, Como 0. Now, guys, that is the end of my predictions this week, guys. It's going to be a very, very, very good week, guys. I'm definitely, like I said, there's a lot of good games to watch. Atalanta against Inter Milan. We have AC Milan against Lazio. And we have Roma against Juventus. These are going to be great games to watch, guys. Listen, guys, stay tuned to this channel, guys. I'm going to be here every single week doing these Serie A predictions, guys. So if you guys like that, like the video, subscribe. And subscribe to my channel, Omar BYT. And also, guys, subscribe to the Football Overseas YouTube channel. And peace, you guys.